Hi everyone, this is Kimberly Collins, the Educated Natural. Today, as we all know, if you look on any news station, you will notice that the government has shut down. Now, this means a lot of different things for a lot of different people. You know, it doesn't affect us all the same way. But many of you that know me personally, you know that I am a military spouse, and this impacts me and my family directly, especially my husband, the active duty member of the military. But this message is directly pointed towards my military spouses, because as you guys can see, our military members right now are going to be facing some hard choices and some hard times here to come. Now, I know the government has said that their checks will not be touched right now, but as military spouses, now is the time that we need to lace up our boots and support our military members. And here's what I mean. For the last quite a few years, I won't give the exact number for privacy reasons, but for the last few years, my family and I have been attached in the military in one way or another. I once was a military soldier myself, and after my time was up, I immediately became a military spouse. And because I've had the pleasure of being the soldier as well as a spouse, I can see things from both sides of the spectrum, not just from a military spouse standpoint. And I can tell you, since I've been experienced in both sides of the spectrum, I can tell you now that our active duty, reserve, and National Guard military members are under a lot of stress. And the last thing they need right now is for the government shutdown to impact them and add more stress on a very already stressful life they live, anyway. Now, why am I directing this message towards my military spouses? This is because I look around my neighborhood and I see several military spouses outside talking with one another, not doing anything productive as far as taking some of that financial stress off of their military spouse, the active duty member, that is. And when I go and I speak with them, a lot of them are not going to school. They're not trying to find jobs inside the home or outside the home. They're just outside playing with their children or sitting in the house watching television or outside talking. This is unacceptable. This behavior has to stop. As a military spouse and a former soldier, it's times like this when the government has decided that they can touch what many of us depend on at any time without notice. It's times like this that we as military spouses have to say, you know what, enough playing games, let me help out my spouse now. And how can you do that? Well, it's very simple. Now is the time for you to look on. If you don't want to go outside the home and get a job, that's fine. There are plenty of opportunities out there online for you to help support your military spouse, active duty member that is, right from your computer. You see, I was just like you. In the very beginning, when my husband and I got married, I was an active duty soldier. I was in the United States Army. And when I decided to leave the military to take care of our child, it was a very tough transition for me because I was used to having my own paycheck. So I immediately went into the workforce as a civilian, directly from a soldier. Total different lifestyle, total different way of earning an income. But once that happened, I knew that not only did my life change, my journey also changed, and my focal point also changed, meaning that it wasn't just about me anymore. I was a mother now, and I was no longer a soldier, but I became an Army military spouse. And with that came a lot of responsibility. There were days I watched my husband spend all day at work, come home and sit down, and he and I would have to talk about our finances. Now, for a lot of you, you may not have that conversation with your spouse, and trust me, that is the wrong answer, because we are military families. Our lifestyles are totally different than civilian families, and our focuses should also be different. Now, here's what I'm talking about. When you are a military spouse, your job can be inside the home or outside the home. If it's inside the home, that does not mean you get to go put your feet up and do absolutely nothing. Because these are the military spouses that I keep seeing on TV crying and moaning and groaning when the government decided that the checks were going to stop. During the entire time, you should have been preparing yourself and your family for such news. We did it, so I have no sympathy for military spouses that are outside yapping, instead of inside working and trying to help and alleviate some of the stresses that active duty, reserve, or guard soldier is going to have to endure. Last night, one of my business partners mentioned that 75% of the people in the United States live paycheck to paycheck. That number alone floored me. But when he went on and said that of that 75%, 10% of these people cannot look in their bank accounts and have at least $800 on them in their account. That is the wrong answer. Now, I hope that my military families out there have planned better than this. But when I look at the news and I see military spouses say the things that they're saying as far as, I got to go sell my truck, or I may have to give up my dog for adoption because I can't afford to feed it if my husband is not getting paid, we are trained better than that. Okay? When it comes to our finances, we are trained better than that. If you are not trained better than that, then we have facilities on our military installation at ACS that are there for you to learn how to manage your money. So when I hear these things, when the government shuts down and everybody in the military goes haywire, I'm like, are you serious? You get a guaranteed check, unlike some people. Okay? So you need to learn how to plan it. If you look right now, here's what you do. Point blank. Every military family out there, if you can't look into your bank account and you don't have at least 6 months of your spouse's income, in case of an emergency, on hand, standing by, then you, my friend, have did the number one thing an insurance man told me never to do. He said, if you fail to plan, you have planned to fail. So if you don't have at least 6 months of your husband or wife's military pay on hand right now in your account for situations such as this, a government shutdown where he may not get paid, then you, my friend, have planned to fail. And that, from one military spouse to another, from one former active duty soldier to another, you have planned to fail, and this is unacceptable. But my military spouses out there, back to you. This is not the end for us. This is not the end for you. Here is how you can stop right now and get this thing turned around. I decided a long time ago that I was going to try and alleviate that stress off of my active duty husband. Okay? And here's how I did it. I decided that it was too tough and too much competition out there for me to get back into the government system for a government job. Because let's face it, our husbands are active duty military or reserve or guard. So our number one focus is to get back into something that we're used to, which is the government. Well, it was a little bit tough out there to get back in once I left. So what did I do? I went online and I started to do some research and come up with ways that I can sit down at home, take care of my husband, take care of our children, our household, and earn my own income. And not just depend on his income, because as you can see, it can be taken at any time. So, how did I do that? I went to a company online. I became an affiliate marketer online. Okay, I'm stressing online because that means what? I can be at home. If you want to be that military spouse that stays at home and not work outside the home, fine. But work. Do something. Okay? Take care of yourself first. Don't depend on the government to sit there and always be there. As you can see, they shut down. So, number one, I sat there and I got a job online. Actually, I'm forming and building my own business online as an entrepreneur. And you know what? This is actually taking a lot of the pressure off of my husband, because now he doesn't have to worry about what will happen to us if his check stops. We have that 6+ month, on the background. We have that emergency fund set up in case the bottom falls out. But it's been brought to my attention that a lot of my fellow military families do not. So here's what I need you to do. If you fall into that category where you can say, Kim, I do not have 6 months on hand because of XYZ reason, that's fine. I don't need to know your reason. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to fix the problem right now. Stop depending on other people. Here's what you need to do. If you are a military spouse out there, whether you have experience online or not, I did not when I started. Here's what you need to do. Link up with me and my team at www.theeducatednatural.com. Get started right now. There's a video there. Enter your email information there. There's a video there that will tell you how I am making money online. To get started up, all you need is $25 a month. Okay? Just like you see me just like you're watching me do this video right now, this could be you, and you can earn an income just doing this. If you like to blog, if you want to write our government and tell everybody how you're feeling about this shutdown, you can do that. There's a blogging platform there for $25 a month. You can blog to your heart content and earn an income right from your computer. Do not let this thing get you down. Okay? It's time for us as military spouses, as military families to put our minds together and jump into this thing with both feet and take care of one another, especially taking care of ourselves. Once again, that website is www.theeducatednatural.com, and you can get started right now building an income. That way, if the bottom of this thing falls out, if things get worse, things going to get a little tight, things started to close down, you, my friend, are prepared. Just like those families we see on TV that's preparing for Armageddon and they got months and years of food stored down in their basement, this is what we're doing. We're not storing food, but we're storing up income. Okay? That's what I need you to do. This is directly for my military spouses out there who feel like, oh my goodness, this is going to hurt a little bit more than a bee sting. Okay? This has been Kimberly Collins, The Educated Natural, encouraging you to get started today. Become an entrepreneur, build your business, and let's really, truly support our military members out there. Okay, military spouses? I'll see you guys on the other side. This is Kimberly Collins, The Educated Natural. As always, enjoy your journey.